Picture this. You're in a lecture. The professor is moving fast, so you're scribbling. Shorthand, arrows, half-finished words. That weird hybrid between cursive and print that only you can read. Maybe only you, on a good day. You take a photo of it at the end of class, and then an AI reads it. All of it. Every cramped word, every sloppy letter, every margin note you squeezed in sideways. No way, right? That's exactly what I thought. But it's real. It works. And once you understand how, you'll never look at a photo of text the same way again. Here's the thing that makes handwriting genuinely hard for a computer. When you read text on a screen, every letter is a perfect, consistent shape. The letter A always looks exactly like the letter A. Clean, predictable, no surprises. Handwriting is the opposite. Your A looks different from my A. Your A on Monday looks different from your A on Friday after 3 coffees. Letters lean, squish, float above the line, merge into the letter next to them. And that's before you throw in smudges, torn paper, faded ink, or someone who went to medical school. For decades, computers just couldn't handle this. Early text scanning software, called OCR, optical character recognition, worked fine on printed documents but fell apart the moment handwriting entered the picture. It would return gibberish. Confident, wrong, gibberish. So the question is, what changed? How does AI actually pull meaning out of something that messy? Quick quiz before we go further. Pause and answer before I tell you. Here's what we're going to cover. How AI turns a messy image into readable text, why it's so much better than the old approach, and what it can, and still can't, handle reliably. Let's start at the very beginning. When you photograph a page of handwriting, what the AI receives isn't text. It's just pixels. Millions of tiny colored squares. It has no idea there are words in there yet. The first job is to find the text regions. The AI scans the image looking for areas of contrast, dark marks against a light background, and groups them into lines, words, and individual character shapes. Think of it like the AA putting a highlighter over every part of the image that might be a letter. Then comes the part that makes modern AI different from old school OCR. Old OCR said, "Does this shape match my template for the letter A?" If yes, A. If not, no idea. Modern AI doesn't match against templates. It looks for features, strokes, curves, where lines meet, the angle of an ascender, the gap in the middle of a B. It's learned what makes an A across millions of examples of different people's handwriting. Messy, neat, rushed, careful. So instead of asking, "Does this match my one template?" it asks, "Based on everything I've learned, what does this shape most likely represent?" That's the shift, from rigid matching to learned probability. But here's where it gets really clever. And this is the part most people don't expect. The AI doesn't read one letter at a time in isolation. It reads in context. Say it sees a smudged shape that could be an A or a U. On its own, it genuinely can't tell. But if the word around it is beg_n, suddenly the answer is obvious. It's began, not begun, because the rest of the sentence is in the past tense. The AI factors in the surrounding letters, the whole word, even the sentence, to make its best guess at each ambiguous character. It's like how you can read a word even if one letter is missing, because your brain fills in the gap from context. The AI does exactly the same thing. This is why modern handwriting recognition is dramatically more accurate than old OCR. It's not just pattern matching, it's language understanding layered on top of image recognition. Quick quiz. Pause and think before I tell you. Now, and this is important, handwriting AI isn't magic. There are real limits. Extremely degraded documents are still hard. Faded ink, water damage, paper that's yellowed and torn. The AI can struggle when there simply isn't enough visual information to work with. Highly personal shorthand is another wall. If you've invented your own symbols, abbreviations, or letter forms that no one else uses, the AI has never seen them. It'll make its best guess, which might be completely wrong. And some languages and scripts are significantly harder than others. Cursive English has been trained on billions of examples. A regional historical handwritten script from the 18th century? Far fewer training examples, far lower accuracy. The honest picture. For everyday modern handwriting, notes, forms, letters, AI is remarkably good. For edge cases, it still needs human review. So, why does this matter to you? If you've ever taken handwritten notes and wanted them searchable, you can do that now. Tools like Google Lens, Apple's Live Text, and dedicated apps like Adobe Scan use exactly this technology to turn a photo of your notes into editable, searchable text in seconds. Old paper documents, recipes, letters, records can be digitized without retyping them word by word. For businesses, this is even bigger. Banks process handwritten forms. Hospitals digitize handwritten patient records. Logistics companies read handwritten shipping labels. All of it automated, all of it powered by the same core idea we just walked through. The messy, unpredictable thing that broke computers for decades. AI learned to read it by learning to expect the unexpected. So, to bring it all together, AI reads handwriting by first finding text regions in an image, then using learned features, not fixed templates, to identify characters, and then using language context to resolve anything ambiguous. It's image recognition and language understanding working together, and it keeps getting better. The more handwriting it sees, the more variation it can handle. Next episode, we're going somewhere completely different. We're asking, how does AI make music? Not just play it, but actually compose it. That one is stranger and more interesting than you'd expect. If this video helped something click, subscribe so you don't miss it, and drop a comment. Is your handwriting something you'd trust an AI to read? I'm genuinely curious where people land on that. See you next week.